Welcome to the following presentation of Minor League Esports on the MLE Network.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Minor League Esports Season 12 Draft. My name is Maple, and I am one of two hosts here for the Foundation League Draft. Beside me is the man, the Terminator. How are you, Term?
I am fantastic, and let me tell you, I am ready for this draft after 4 months of off season. It's great that we're finally here in the draft room, ready for the season to start. I'm excited, and I'm sure as a member of League Ops, you are too.
I am so excited to see this go. You know, we in League Ops have been working really hard along with every other department within MLE to not only put on the draft, but to see this season get underway. So really excited. Definitely do want to give a shout out to everybody in League Ops though. We worked late last night and all day today as well, working hard to make sure that things are going well. So here we go.
Yeah,
really excited.
Yeah, so am I. And the first pick is on the clock. The Pandas on the clock with the first selection in the Foundation League draft. Do you have any guesses on who they will take?
You know what? I don't. I'm not sure who they're going to take. I don't think it's going to be me. I'm in Foundation League looking for a draft, but I don't think it'll be me. You know, I could see Code Red Jack maybe, or Christois. I've seen his name quite a bit, so it'll be interesting to see who it's going to be for sure.
And the pick is in with the first pick of the season. It's Gringo Fantastic going to the Pandas. This is a player that really took the league by storm in FL last season and is looking to do it again.
He did. Gringo's got a really good attitude. He's a solid guy. I've had the chance to scrim with him quite a bit. In his scrims, he's got tons and tons of goals, assists. He's got 89 wins throughout all of his scrims, and he's got 204 games played. So he's got just a ton of games played. Really good pick for the Pandas. I think Riz, as the franchise manager, is going to be happy. Gringo brings a solid attitude, which is a big part of FL2, and a great desire to succeed and to improve.
Yeah, I always see him playing. He's always willing to play tournaments or other games with other players. I think he'll really fit in with that Panda squad and be a solid leader for that team. The second team up is the Sabres. Who knows how they're going to select, but any guesses on this one, Maple?
You know, I might have a little bit of inside information on this one. I do know who they're going to pick, but I am going to wait for it because from what I understand, the pick is in on this one. Let's see who it's going to be. I think it's going to be an excellent player named Maple. Woohoo!
Oh, Maple, what a shocking selection. Congratulations. Wow. Well, not shocking in a bad way. Shocking as in, I think we knew this one was going to happen before the draft. Congratulations on getting selected. And I'm nominating this for MLE POTW, the pick of the week. I got my balls right here. Let's break it out for Maple.
Nice. I don't have any balls, but I do have some juice here in my Oilers mug, or my Oilers cup, because I'm a big fan. The only other thing I wish I had was something that Audie likes to carry around with him everywhere, a little Poggart, which is a great dessert, but pick a super Pog. So here, let's go for the third pick, the Sharks. Who do they pick and who do they take?
Well, it seems like the pick is in, and they are taking Code Red Jack with the number 3 pick, a very solid player who has improved a lot throughout the past season. I've seen him a lot in 4-mans, and this guy just keeps getting better.
Absolutely, and Code Red Jack is a super guy. He is on the dev team, of which I'm a member. He's just a fantastic guy. Interesting fact, he has the number 1 most scrim points out of everybody. He's over 400 last time I looked. Wow. Super committed to improvement. Like I said, great guy, so awesome pick for the Sharks. Definitely can't go wrong here at all.
Yeah, you cannot. And the fourth pick, the Aviators are up next. I have a feeling I know which way they're going to go, but this is going to be a very interesting pick for them. I believe they traded up to this position to get it. The pick is in. We are just waiting for it to show on the screen, but it will be Jacob JTL.
Awesome. What a great pick. Jacob is another guy, another player that's been around the league a little bit. I've seen the name before. I think this is going to be another solid pick. So good job by the Aviators. They got who they wanted. I don't think this was a huge surprise.
Not at all. This is a player that has led teams to playoffs in every league he's been in. I don't think he's ever missed the playoffs in any league he's been in, and whether that be UR or MLE for the Outlaws last season. This guy knows how to lead a team well, and I think will represent the Aviators in a great way.
Awesome. I'm really excited to see how that goes and to watch some additional play. Next up, we're going to have the Wolves, see who Ray and the fellas there are going to pick. And in fact, I'm told the pick is in, so let's see who it's going to be.
The pick is the first new player to MLE, Captain Romero.
Captain Romeo.
Oh, Romeo. Sorry.
That's okay.
I cannot read.
That's okay. It's not always easy to see when we're looking around at all sorts of stuff. This is great. It's good to see new players into MLE get picked up. It's not just name recognition. It's absolutely performance in scrims. And I know that the Wolves believe strongly in good attitude from their players, desire to improve, and being non-toxic. They really do look for players that fit well into the MLE mantra as well. So fantastic. Congratulations to Captain Romeo. Next up will be the Puffins.
Yeah, the Puffins, this is a team that won the championship in Academy League last season, but they're looking to do it in Foundation League this season. I'm really interested to see who they are going to pick with pick number 6.
I'm not sure who they might pick. I know Christois is still available. There's a lot of really solid people in FL that are still available, so I'm really interested to see who they end up picking. I'm just trying to look at some of the other players available. Clory is a 10 salary player that's available. Incognito. And from what I understand, pick is in. So let's see who they're going to pick.
They're taking the content team lead of MLE, Kick Puncher.
Awesome. What a great pick. Kick Puncher's a great guy. He's done a fantastic job showcasing some of the top 5 potential picks in each of the leagues. I know my name wasn't on there, but that was okay. I didn't take it personally, but Kick Puncher is really solid. So I'm really excited to see that pick. And next up, who do we have, Term?
I believe up next, I am actually not sure. That is one of the sheets I do not have
okay,
open.
then I do know. Sorry. Next will be the Hive. Hive get the next pick. So interested to see, again, I mentioned Clory, Christois, Eskimo, Frost, some 10s that are still available. Meerkat. Meerkat's a guy that went first overall last season. So it'll be interesting to see where he falls. He's an excellent player, was part of that Jets franchise.
Yeah, and he is a great player. I got to play him against him twice, unfortunately, last season. A guy that goes for a lot of demos and can ruin rotations. And in Foundation League, you're trying to build those rotations for the first time. But unfortunately, the rotation breaking will not be happening in this pick because the Hive will be taking Hospital Ball with pick number 7.
This is a solid choice. I've gotten to know Hoos because she does participate in some production stuff as a match official, just like myself. And I'm really, really excited for her. Congratulations, Hoos, going to the Hive. Really solid team. Yeah, this is getting really good and really interesting. Curious to see who the Wizards are going to pick next.
Yeah, and the Wizards, they have gone all out in a couple other leagues, all out in CL. They have 4 players and 2 first-round picks. I'm not sure if FL is their first priority, but I know they're going to try to win in every league. That's one of Jamesy's goals this season, and they have a real shot to if they can nail this pick right on.
Yeah, so we've talked about some of the other picks. I'm kind of curious to see who it's going to be. Monster Jammers is available. Auntie, Purple Box. There's still a lot of really solid players here available at the top.
Oh, for sure. And it looks like the pick is in. And pick number 8 for the Wizards, it is going to be 1.0 MPI.
There you go. It's not a player name that I recognize, and that's good. I'm glad to see that. I like to see different players getting drafted. I did play in quite a few scrims, but I don't think I ever got to play with MPI. Nothing wrong with that. So good luck and congratulations on the pick to MPI.
Yeah, and when teams do pick players that are new to the league, that's good. It means that they've done their research, they've had lots of tryouts, and have found these players to really be a big part of their team this season. And it looks like that's what the Wizards did here. They found, a diamond in the rough, and they're hoping that it really polishes and shines.
Absolutely, and they know what they're doing. Next up on the board is going to be the Ducks, and we're just holding off and waiting for that pick to come in. Well, we do, Term, you're a GM yourself. How important are the tryouts to you?
Tryouts are super important. You want to be sure that you are able to get to see a lot of players. But before we get back to that, let's talk about the next pick. You mentioned this player earlier with pick number 9. The Ducks are taking Chris Toit.
This is a solid pick. Chris Toit is a 10 salary player, is at the high end of FL, might move out to AL at some point. That's kind of the expectation. Definitely a good player. I have had the chance to scrim with him once, and looking forward to potentially doing that again here soon in league play on the field.
Oh, he definitely is a great player and someone that could really shine for the Ducks, even if he does rank out to AL, which is a whole new topic of conversation we have for this season with ELO being implemented. If he does rank out to AL, the leadership abilities that he's going to have with that Ducks FL team for the couple weeks he's on there is going to be huge. And if he can help them grow and develop as players, that could really help the Ducks later down the road.
Yeah, I totally agree. One of the things that I find in FL and with FL players. Oh, you know what? Before I continue, the pick is in for the next one. So let's see who's going to go to the Foxes.
The Foxes are taking Viper Vipe, another name I do not recognize, but Maple may have some more insight on this player.
Unfortunately, I don't have a ton. I have seen Viper doing some or playing some scrims, but I don't personally have a lot of firsthand knowledge with them. So congratulations on the pick. I know Fallen is a very active franchise manager and has some great staff under him, and I think that I'm sure this pick is coming with a lot of thought and probably some really good tryouts too.
Absolutely. The Shadow are up next with pick number 11. I believe this is going to be their first of their 2-season rotation in Foundation League. So who do you think that they take here?
You know what? Again, I'm not sure. Like Incognito, Clory, Eskimo, Frost, Meerkat, still some really solid names. I think it really depends if people want to pick high and potentially develop, or if they want to pick a bit lower, develop, but keep them in FL instead of necessarily going up.
Exactly, and that's always the question. They have made a pick. We're just waiting for it to be confirmed and relayed to us. But the Shadow, it is actually in now, and with pick number 11, the Shadow will be taking Logic CC.
Yeah, Logic C or Logi CC is one of the players that we see in Foundation League. I haven't seen a ton of activity out of them, but again, Shadow are very much a competent organization. I'm sure that Logic was somebody that came through in tryouts that they really liked. So interested to see how this goes, and the comments are next up on the list.
Yeah, and this pick that they have just made is one that does not surprise me at all, because the pick is in, and with pick number 12, they're taking Clory.
Yeah, Clory I've mentioned a couple times. Absolute solid player, good rotational skill. Doesn't have a lot of problems with whiffing on the ball from what I've seen. So good work on this one. This is a solid pickup for the Comets. And I'm actually a little surprised that Clory has dropped down to the 12th spot. So I think this is a solid pickup. And this is the interesting part about draft day, is GMs, FMs, GMs, and all the franchise leaders have gotten together, have done tryouts, have done all this work, and they have a solid idea of who they want, and then suddenly they either get taken or a player falls to them. Things are pretty awesome and really evolving and moving a lot during this day. It's an exciting time, and I hope that everybody at home is as excited as I am and as we are, right?
Absolutely, and draft day is always super exciting. You love to see when players fall, because then you're like, yes, and that's one of the rough parts about being a GM, is just hoping that they do, or hoping your players don't get taken. But the pick for number 13 is in, a player I know very well from Express last season, Dowie Cow.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie, I'm a little sad on this one. Dowie and I play together quite a bit. We play ranked together in grind. Dowie's a phenomenal player, and I'm only sad because I had hoped maybe he would fall some more and the Sabres might be able to pick him up with their second pick. But I'm really excited for Dowie. Great guy, great player. He's got some solid skill. This is a really awesome pickup for the Hawks.
Great pickup. He has good mechanical skills for a Foundation League
Really
player,
does.
and his salary was lower than it was at the end of last season. Last season, he was a 10 with the implementation of ELO. It has changed his salary a bit, but he's a very solid player. But up next, we have the Spectre, and they're taking a player that was seen on the Hive at one point last season, War Dog.
Excuse me. Yeah, War Dog's another guy that I've seen quite a bit in tryouts, and I've had, or in scrims, sorry, and I've had several scrims with him myself. Good player, got some good foundational skill, and I think with the expertise and the leadership that Kunix has, the Spectre are really going to appreciate this pick, and they're really going to be able to work with War Dog and help him improve. And you know what? Got a real chance here with War Dog to go far in the season and potentially into the playoffs.
Yeah, he's a player that's always around and wanting to play, so it's a very solid pickup for the Spectre, getting a player like that in the first round.
Yep.
Get yourself a leader right away, which is what matters a lot in Foundation League. Pick number 15 is in. It's by the Demolition. DJ loves his Foundation League teams, and he'll be selecting Plebby first.
Nice. So I'm not super familiar with Plebby myself, not somebody that I've seen in any of the scrims that I've been part of or that I've really noticed in the past. So no doubt that DJ and the demo team have found themselves what they consider a diamond in the rough, which is great. Yeah. Do you know anything? Do you know Plebby? I'm not really familiar with him.
I've seen his name around a couple times. I think I have seen him in a VC or been in a VC with him once. Nice guy, and that's what DJ goes a lot for. He loves the personalities with Foundation League and then building them up. So this pick does not surprise me whatsoever. First season in a league like MLE, or first season in MLE, I feel like this is a perfect pick for what the demo like.
Absolutely. And he's a 9, so it's not like he's a low-ranked player or anything like that. He is a 9 salary player, so I'm sure he brings some skill and some expertise, and that's great. And then the Hive are up next, and the 16th pick, which will be the final pick of the first round.
It may be the final pick of the first round, but it's their second pick in the first round. They went all out in Foundation League this season. Who will they pair with Hospital Ball? Well, the pick is in, and it will be Ota.
Yeah, Oda's a good pick. Again, not a ton of experience myself with Oda, but I think what the Hive are doing here is they're picking some players that will play well together, which is obviously what you want. Some chemistry right off the bat is a good choice, and also that have good attitudes and bring solid culture to a team, which when you're talking about Foundation League, obviously, as one of these players, we don't have the most skill in the world. We have some, and we're definitely developing, again, those foundational skills and getting some talent. But generally, the attitude is what you're looking for here, because good attitude and positive attitude means that people will grind together, work together, and play for each other, which ultimately can end up in big dubs and championships.
Absolutely. Pick number 17, the Pandas are back up. They took Gringo, fantastic with their first pick. Any guesses on who they take? Actually, never mind. We don't have time to guess because the pick is in. And with the number 17 pick, the Pandas will be taking Cardinal 22.
Yeah, Cardinal's a good pick. I believe that he's a father to another player in the league who has moved out of FL, if I remember correctly. But absolutely solid mechanical player. We saw him in the playoffs last year, playing very well.
Yeah, very, very good player. If I remember right, he was on the Bears last season. Yeah, for the last 2 seasons, he's been on the Bears, a mainstay in FL, very good player who will pair well with Gringo. Fantastic. You got the young and the old, and together that they'll have the experience and the energy to go out and win some games.
Absolutely. The next pick is in for the Wizards. This pick is really awesome. Speaking about young and old, they've picked up one of the older players in FL that I know, and I think he's a terrific guy, and that's Panis. I really like Panis. He's a ton of fun to play with. He's got a spectacular attitude, and he's a little bit older than I am, and I'm going to be turning 39 here soon. And I really like Panis. So good job by the Wizard for this pick. Definitely solid. I think Panis is going to do super.
It's a great pick indeed.
Yeah.
Another player I'm familiar with and was on my Express team last season. The guy knows how to play Rocket League well. And I haven't seen him on a lot of draft boards, or at least high on a lot of draft boards, but he had a very solid season last year stat-wise for Express. This is a very good second-round pick and someone that they should be able to pair with 1.0 MPI well.
Yeah, I agree with that. The next pick coming up will be from the Sharks, and I'm interested to see who Audie picks, and it sounds like we have that pick in. So it's going to be Zorba, and Zorba is a great pickup for the Sharks. He and Code Red Jack have played together a ton, and I know that both of them scrim a whole lot. Zorba's got like I keep saying this, and I know it's repetitive, but another guy with a really good attitude and just likes to get out there, have some fun. And I think him and Code Red Jack, again, solid pairing together. A little bit nervous about having to see them out on the field.
Oh yeah, that's a very solid pick for the Sharks. Zorba, great personality, exactly the kind of personality you want on a team, and I'm pretty sure that Addy is going to be very happy with that.
Yeah, I definitely think so. Audie is going to be very happy with it. The Sharks pick very much for culture first, and then they look also skill too matters, hence why they've got who they've got. But you know what? Culture means everything to Audie too. He just wants to have players that work hard and get along. So next pick from the comments is in, and it will be
Swanson. Coming in and going to the Comets. And I don't know a lot about Swanson. I don't believe he was in the league last season, but anyone you could pair with Clory, I feel like is going to be a solid pick.
Yeah, this one is a little bit of a disappointment to me because I was watching and hoping that Swanson actually fell to potentially be available for us to look at him. He was somebody that I was interested in playing with, one of the guys that was on the draft board for the Sabres as well. Did really well in tryouts, has some good skill. He's handed me some L's in scrims, and so this is not surprising. Actually, the only thing that's surprising is that he's fallen this far, but to see him and Clory pair together is going to be really, really good. The Comets have put together a brutal first two player, or a twosome here with these guys to have to try and beat. That's what I mean by brutal. It's going to be tough.
Yeah, and that might be honestly one of the better combos that we have seen so far in this draft. But there's so much of it to go. We're not even halfway done yet. And the 21st pick is in. And who is it? The Wolves will be taking an inebriated Uper.
So I've known Uper for about 4 or 5 years. We were reminiscing in chat the other day, and we had met in a different place. And Uper came over here first, and he was one of the guys telling me about this place when one night when I was playing some games with him and Ripper. And Uper's a great guy. He will fit in very well with the Wolves. And Ray got himself a solid pick here. Good job by the Wolves. Uper's a super terrific guy.
Yeah, very good personality. I've had the pleasure of talking to him a bit in seasons past, and you're right, fits perfectly with the culture Ray wants to set up on that Wolves squad. But we have another pick to move on to, pick 22. That is the Puffins, and they will be taking Frost.
Nice. I don't know too much about Frost. Got to be honest, I haven't seen Frost a ton, so I don't have a lot of information. I'm going to have a look and see what I can find for some stats here and see how this goes.
I would love to point out that the name is just perfect for the Puffins franchise. You got a cold weather term for a cold weather animal. I love it.
Nice. So Frost has played 10 games. And he's gone 7-3 in both 2s and 3s combined together. He's gone actually 3-0 in 2s. So good, looks like to be a good pickup there. Yeah, he's definitely got some skill. He's had a 3.5 MVPR in 2s and a 2.1 MVPR in 3s. So a good foundational player there that'll help the Puffins and that'll play well with Kick Puncher, no doubt.
Yeah, and if I remember right, I believe he was on the Wizards to start the year to start last season. I could be wrong on that, so chat, you can yell at me if I'm wrong. But if I remember right, he was a pretty solid player and should fit in well with the Puffins.
Awesome. Good, yeah. And he's a 10 salary player too, so he's definitely got some skill as well.
Oh, for sure. Now moving on to our next team, we go from a cold weather to hot. We got the Flames up next, and I'm excited to see who they pick. I mean, we still haven't seen Meerkat, who was the #1 pick in Foundation League last season. Does that surprise you at all?
I'm very surprised. I'm not going to lie to you. I cannot believe that Meerkat is still available. I don't know why he's still available. I watched him play last season. I mean, the Jets went far into they went into the playoffs, so I can't remember exactly how far they went with the FL team. I thought they went to their conference finals or semis. I'm very surprised that Meerkat hasn't gotten picked. And then the next pick is in, 23rd pick overall, which belongs to the Flames. And it's going to be...
It is going to be Drosid, or Droxid?
Droxid, I think.
No idea. But he was picked at number 23. This is a solid pick for Flames. I don't know much about the player, but any more insight, Maple?
Not a ton. I'm just looking at the stats here on this amazing sheet that Lack built for us. He's a 7 salary player that plays on PC. He does want to play both 2s and 3s, which is good. He's played in 37 games, so that's pretty good, and has a bit of a lower win percentage at about 30%. So probably a good developing player, and I'm sure someone that the Flames is happy to see on their team and happy to help develop.
For sure, and that is their first pick in the draft, so we'll see who they compare with him later on. But we have another pick. This will mark our halfway point in the draft. Pick number 24. It's your boy Chad.
It is. It's my boy Chad, and this is going to be my partner. Excited about this. Chad was one of the guys we've been targeting very high up in the draft. It's nice that I get to personally talk about him. I've had the opportunity to play with Chad in a few cases, both in scrims and in tryouts. We've gelled very well together. So looking forward to playing with Chad, to having some fun, and to helping earn a championship here with the Sabres.
For sure, the Sabres got a good one, and you too, dynamic duo going into.
Indeed,
it's going to be a very dynamic duo going into this season. But we have our next pick. The Ducks will be taking Ball Don't Lie 12.
I don't know Ball Don't Lie 12, so I'm going to look up and see what I can find out. And nope, not there. Oh.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. His skills don't lie. I think I've played with this guy once before. A pretty good player, and someone that the Ducks will be very, very happy to have paired with Christois.
Nice. Yeah, Ball Don't Lie 12 is a 7 salary player that is actually a PS4 player. And so, yeah, good for them and good job. Moving on to the next pick already, it's in. This is going to be from the Foxes. Pick number 26 is going to be Big Dog 2107.
I don't know much about Big Dog, but going to the Foxes, it's a solid pick here to pair with Viper Vipe. You know, that's a pretty good combo, I have to say.
Yes, I think so. I'm just looking up Big Dog a little bit. I seem to recall, he's a 9.5 salary player. He's got about 50% overall in scrims and has played quite a few, has 47 games in. So definitely a good sample size, and in fact is second in all of FL in shots per game at an average of 3.4. So that's pretty cool. Moving on to the 27th pick, belongs to the Shadow, and that pick is in, and that will be Mighty.
I'm not gonna lie. I wish this player went to the Ducks just so we could have a Mighty Ducks pun in here. But that being said, Mighty, a very solid player for the Shadow to pick up. Paired with Logic, this is going to be a solid duo that can reign terror on their division this season.
Yeah, and Mighty is a 9 salary player that is interested in playing both 2s and 3s, so that's really good for them. Seems stats-wise to kind of fit in around the middle of scrims in general. Has played a ton, has played 98 different scrim games, and has over a 50% win ratio, so slowly gaining. But moving right along to the Aviators pick, the 28th that's in, and it'll be Sinful Envy. I'm just going to say that I'm surprised Sinful's fallen this far. He's somebody that I've played quite a few games with. Sinful's got a good amount of skill. I particularly found him to be good up on the walls, which is something that's a little bit rare in Foundation League. Being up on the side, it's a little bit awkward. So good job and great pick by the Aviators for sure.
Definitely a very solid pick. Up next, we have pick number 29. That is for the Hawks. And the Hawks, we've seen them already pick Dowie Cow. Who they pair him with here could be a game changer in terms of how they do this season. But the pick is in, and pick number 29 is going to be Incognito.
Yeah, this is a really solid pick again, and this one worries me a bit because Incognito is also a 10, and him and Dowie are going to play really, really well to get together. Incognito's definitely got some really solid skill. In fact, talking about some of his skills, his shots per game is the 3rd highest in all of FL, and his MVPR is the 9th highest at an average of 3.12. So really good player here. I'm impressed. Good pickup by the Hawks. They've built themselves a really, really skilled duo.
Yeah, I got to see him for the first time actually late last night. I know he was at a Hive tryout, and he was going up against AL players. And let me tell you, he was holding his own. They were firing shots on, weren't able to score a lot, but they were Incognito was holding his own. And I think this is going to be a player that can really, really do well in Foundation League. But the Spectre have the next pick, and oh my gosh, this is a name to pronounce. Pick 30 is Instroception. Istroception.
Close enough. You know what? It's not easy. It's tough because we're seeing some of these names for the first time. Istro's been at some of our tryouts term, and he is another really good pick that I'm a little surprised has fallen down as far as he has. So Kunix has got to be smiling here. This is a really solid pick, and I think him and War Dog are going to do really well together. Istro's a 9.5 salary and sits in just about every category in the top 10 or 15 players in all of FL. Really, really good pick here.
That is an amazing pick. If you could get a pick like that, add pick 30, that is solid. And, between him and War Dog, I feel like that will be a solid combo going forward. Maybe not the most dynamic on paper, but when they go out on the field together, I have a feeling they're going to be scary.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you. And then next we have the demo. The demo are in with pick 31, the second last pick in the second round of the FL draft, and that's going to be Ice Cold Brew, which is a great name. I love it. It's a good play on some coffee that I really enjoy taking in from Starbucks and other places. Ice Cold Brew is a 7.5 salary player, and I think is a good pick. Again, the demo have picked up Plebe so far, and now are picking up Ice Cold Brew. Yep. Generally, I think that they're doing a really good job here. I haven't played with them myself. I'm not sure if you are aware of them very much. Or...
I believe I remember him a bit from a couple of VCs I've been in, or maybe even the end of last season. Not a bad player at all, and this is a good pickup for a demo team that just wants to build off the momentum they had last season. The team that made the playoffs, they're looking to get back there again, and with the duo that they have so far, I think that they're a bit on their way to do that.
Yep, absolutely. The next team that's going to be giving us a pick is going to be the Flames, finishing out the second round of the FL pick. That pick is now in, and that is going to be Dual Dyer. Sorry. Do you know much about Dual?
I do not, but the Flames have had a couple picks of people that I don't really know much about. So they're going to be a wild card going into this season, and it's, with wild cards, they're hit or miss. This could be one that hits and have a really solid combo.
Yep, absolutely. All right,
Yeah,
so for everybody, sorry about that term, for everybody that's out there, make sure you have a good look at the board here and see what you think. Pretty soon here, we're going to wipe this board and we're going to move over to round 3 of the Foundation League draft for Season 12 here at Minor League Esports. All right, so far we have seen the first 2 rounds of the Foundation League draft for Season 12 start and finish. We've had some excellent players drafted. Any surprises for you at all that you've seen, Term?
Well, I mean, we've mentioned it a couple times. The fact that Meerkat has fallen all the way to the 3rd round after being 1st overall last draft, very surprising because Meerkat had good stats. It's surprising to see him as low as he's fallen. But that being said, I think we have a lot of good players that have been taken, and seeing them taken over Meerkat, you can argue it. You can argue it. And so there's a lot of talent in Foundation League. So seeing some players that we had very highly rated fall, not a surprise at all.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you. And there's still some really solid players here that are available. Ace Penguin, Eskimo, Monster Jammers, Meerkat. So these are some 10 players that haven't been taken yet. So I'm quite interested to see how the next part of the draft is going to go. And it looks like the Pandas are now on the clock. They've got about 2 minutes to get a pick, or they have 60 seconds actually to get their pick in. And then we have about an extra minute to see that done and to talk about it. So who do you think is going to go?
Yeah, so it's how the Pandas do here. They got the number 1 pick in the draft. I believe they had number 17 as well. So I'm interested to see what they do with pick 33 and how they finish off their draft here. But the pick is in, and with pick 33, they're taking Vanilla Cone.
Vanilla Cone is a guy that came and tried out for the Sabres as well. He was definitely active in tryouts and scrims. He's got 33 games played, so definitely more scrim points than necessary, and in fact actually has the 16th highest saves per game average in all of in 3v3 and 18th saves per game in 2v2. So certainly a solid pickup as far as defense is concerned. I think the Pandas have done well here. They've got some offensive players already from the first 2 rounds, and they're certainly shoring up their 3v3 presence on the field.
Yeah, and you always want, with like a 3rd player, you want that defensive presence. You want a player that you know is going to be have good rotations and be able to prevent the ball from going into the back of the net. You let your higher players go get those goals, and you still have good rotations on the side. So great pickup there. The next pick is in. It's the Wizards, and they got an absolute steal here at 34. It's Eskimo.
Yeah, Eskimo's one of those 10s that was left on the board, Term, and I'm really surprised by that. He does only really like to play 2s, and in fact in scrims has only played in 2s, but has a 53% win rate and an average of a 4.99 MVPR, which is 8th highest in 2s in all of Foundation League. That's actually pretty impressive considering he's gone all the way down here in 34th spot, right?
Yeah, I've played with Eskimo a lot. He's a very talented player, one that could eventually move out to AL, and that might have contributed to him falling this far. But absolute steal here, getting him, even if it is for a couple weeks. You have a very solid player to play the first couple weeks of the season.
Absolutely. Next team on deck that's going to be picking are the Sharks, so we have that pick in, and that is going to be Empty Molnir 240. And I've had a chance to chat with Empty a little bit and play as well. He's a 7 salary player that's got some solid skill and foundational pieces. Just needs to keep working on that and having some good teammates and having some really good people in the organization like the Sharks have that can help coach and help learn and develop. I can see Empty Molnir doing very well here. So congratulations, Empty. Great to see you picked up here in the draft.
Well, I knew you definitely knew that player because you said the name correctly. I would have had no clue to call him Molnir. The J would have thrown me off big time. But solid pick by the Sharks. They're building their team. They're building the culture they want. They get another one here with Empty, and that's a solid pickup.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you. I think that I think that actually the next pick is in, and this is going to be for the Comets. It'll be the 4th pick in the 3rd round of the FL draft, and that pick is going to be Auntie. And we've talked a little bit about Auntie. I've mentioned his name a couple times. Auntie is a 10 salary player that has actually done very well and has the highest MVPR in 2s and the highest goals per game in 2s. Number 1 in both in 2s in scrims. So that's saying something. This is a solid pickup, bit of a sleeper pick, I think, for the Comets.
Well, yeah, and that's one of the things that we have to keep in mind this season is that do you take the 10 salaries if you think they're a force to rank out? That's why I think we're seeing them drop this far, and we have another one actually with our next pick. But Onti, absolute steal for the Comets, even if it is for a couple weeks. The next pick is in pick 37. We talked about him. It's Meerkat.
Yeah, and I'm going to give him a round of applause. I really like Meerkat. He's a solid guy. We used to get involved in scrims and playing some games and stuff like that last season. Spent a lot of time in voice chats with him and video chats. Meerkat's a great guy. He's really going to help out that franchise with his personality, and I think he'll fit well within the Wolves organization. Really, really solid pickup by Ray here. I'm impressed, actually. I think this is really good.
It is a great pick, but we have to move on to the next one. The Puffins back up with pick 38. They are taking Real Touchy.
Real Touchy's an 8.5 salary player, has been involved in a significant amount of scrims. He's got over 200 games played, so definitely has about a 47-48% win rate, so still kind of right in the middle, kind of sitting where he belongs in that 8.5. Real Touchy's a solid guy, good attitude, doesn't get discouraged while playing, so good pickup by the Puffins. I think he'll fit in well within the culture that Cloud Fuel is hoping to establish on that team.
Absolutely. Very solid pick for the Puffins. They've built out a very good roster, and I'm excited to see how they play this season. The Hive have the next pick. We saw them pick twice in the first round with, I believe it was Hospital, and I am blanking on the second pick that they had. But they
had Hoos and Oda.
They've had a very solid draft so far. Let's see what they do with their third pick. And it is in. We just had Onti. How about Monty here with pick number 39 for the Hive?
Yeah, this is a good pickup. Monty's a good player. He's a 10 salary, they're a 10 salary player. Win percentage is 65% in twos scrims. Has played in 52 different scrims, definitely a twos main in threes, sitting down at 22% win average. So good work here. Just about a 4 MVPR in twos. This is a good pickup for the Hive. It's another twos player that can, I'm sure, work with their team to become a threes player and get some solid rotations down. They're very different games, so sometimes that's why we see stats skew both ways or skew one way or the other.
Yeah, and the Hive are looking to repeat in Foundation League from last season. They won the championship. They did everything they can to go out and try to do it again. That's why we saw them take 2 first-round picks. This is another step in the right direction in order for them to repeat as champions, and I know that's one of their goals for this upcoming season.
Yep, absolutely. And next on deck are the Sabres. They're going to be picking in the 8th position, right smack here in the middle of our final round for the FL draft. And just waiting to see if the pick is okayed by both League Ops and production. And then we'll let you know who it is. In the meantime, pretty excited to see who my new threes partner or twos partner is going to be, and who's going to help shape the future of the Sabres franchise.
Well, one thing I gotta say, you are definitely gonna shape the future of that Sabres franchise, but who will be Maple's partner in crime? I have no idea. I'm excited to see who this pick is gonna be. The Sabres have had 2 very solid picks so far. Getting a great third person is key, especially in Foundation League when you have to play threes this season.
Right.
With the addition of threes, getting a third person is huge. But the pick is in, and with pick 40, the Sabres will be taking Goosen.
Yeah, we're going to take Goosen. Goosen's an 8.5 player. He's a console player mostly. Definitely plays a little bit more twos than he does threes, but I'm looking forward to have Goosen on our team. He came out to some tryouts and played very well and impressed the Sabres leadership and myself with his ability and skill, and mostly his positive attitude, which is definitely what we're looking to build. So, hey man, congratulations, Goosen. Welcome to the team. Excited to have you, and looking forward to hopefully chatting with you a little bit later tonight after the draft is done there in the Sabres server.
Yeah, very solid pick for the Sabres, and we'll have to see who is next. Seems like we're having trouble seeing who is next, but I will pull it up here so that you don't have to look it up, Maple.
That's
up
okay.
Next is the Ducks with 41. We've seen that they've had a couple good picks.
Yeah, the Ducks have had some really solid picks so far here. I'm just going down and looking. I mean, Ball Don't Lie, I think, is a great pick, and so it'll be interesting to see who they are picking next. And I think that pick is just about in. We're just waiting for a little bit of confirmation. We've only got 8 picks left, and I just want to point out to anybody that's watching, if you don't get picked, please don't be discouraged. There are only 3 rounds in this draft, and there are a lot more players than that will take up. So don't be discouraged. If you find yourself only or left over on Wednesday at noon is when the free agency period opens up, and that is when players can be signed to different teams that didn't get drafted. So again, don't be discouraged. In fact, keep your eyes open. Monday and Tuesday, we generally will see some tryouts for each of the teams. So, but all that said, we have our 9th pick in the 3rd round, and this pick is going to be Spirit.
Sorry, I had to go away real quick. My PC was having a problem, so I had to summon the spirits to help me fix it. Great pick here. This guy has dominated the scrims that he's been in. Real possibility to rank out quick, but in the 3rd round, you're willing to take those chances. Spirit is a great player, absolute steal when you get down to number 41.
Yeah, I think so too. Spirit is a 10 salary player that has between 2s and 3s, has played 31 games. Between the two of them is sitting just over 67%, so 2/3 wins. So really good pickup here. Next pick is in for the Foxes, and it is going to be the loser.
Yeah, great pick here. This player knows how to win. They won Foundation League 2 seasons ago with the Tyrants. They're coming back now and going to try to do it with the Foxes. An absolute steal here this late in the draft.
Yeah, I don't know a ton about the loser. I do know that I've seen them play a little bit. Sits at a 9.5 salary. Looks like they favor 2s over 3s. They've only got 26 games played so far. So, maybe a couple of 3 scrims and a bunch of 2 scrims. Sitting at 56% win average in 2s and a 38% win average in 3s. But that's good. Speaking of picks, the Shadows pick is in, and that pick is going to be Crazy Cow.
Very good pick. Very solid pick at this point in the draft. Crazy Cow, a very good player, knows how to score, knows how to help out the teammates with rotations. Great pickup.
Yeah, I was actually really happy to see this. Crazy Cow is a 9 salary player. Definitely has only exclusively played 2s, although states that they're willing to play both 2s and 3s. So quite impressed here and quite happy for them with this pick. 12th overall MVPR in goals per game, 17th overall NFL in 2s shots per game. That's saying a lot when you've got over 100 players being in the top 20. That's awesome.
Yeah, very good pick. Up next, we have the Puffins looking to complete their team. And when I say complete, of course, that does not include free agency. But looking right here for this pick, they're taking Gamer Will at pick 44.
Indeed, they are taking Gamer Will. Gamer Will is an Xbox player that is a 9.5 salary. Has mostly played 2s, but also has played some 3s. Is a 64% win average in 2s and 56% in 3s. So certainly slowly climbing up, gaining elo and performing well. Interestingly enough, very defensive player in 2s. Has the 10th highest overall saves per game average. So that's pretty awesome and good job for them. But we're going to move right along to the Hawks. Pick number 13, starting out the last 4 picks. And this will be Springer.
Yeah, Springer, another great player going to the Hawks. The Hawks have a very, very good lineup that they've composed here. This is going to be a dangerous Foundation League team.
Yeah, I'm a little bit nervous about the Hawks, actually. I think they definitely have some solid players here. They picked up Dowie Cow, like I said, he's a good buddy of mine, and Springer's in a good place and definitely a defensive player. But before we could talk too much, already the next pick is in. The Spectre pick, 46th overall. We've only got 2 more after this. Third last pick in the FL draft will be Badger.
Another good pick from the Spectre. I've liked what they've done with this roster construction. This is going to be a solid team this season. So expect them to maybe be a dangerous team come playoff time.
Yes, I totally agree with you, actually. I think that the Spectre have some tremendous players on their team already, but I can't even get started. Already, the Demolition are next. We're going to look at who they're picking. Pick is in, and it is going to be Ivan. And I'm not super familiar with Ivan. I'm not sure if you have some information there, Term.
I'm pretty sure I remember this player, and I'll be honest, I blanked that this player was still in Foundation League. It's a good player, a very solid player to get this late in the draft, and I think the demo are really happy that Ivan fell this far.
I think so too. Here's a bit of information. Actually, he's a 7.5 player. Looks like they are a little more experienced or a little bit more skilled at threes, which is good. That is something that all teams are going to need to have, is not just twos players as we have in the past. Yeah. And we're going to head into the last pick of the Foundation League draft for the season 12 here with Minor League Esports. That pick belongs to the Flames, and we're just waiting a second here before that gets confirmed. Any big surprises for you here, other than maybe Meerkat falling so much in the FL draft?
No, there were a couple of players that I saw ranked in the first round in some mock drafts, and they just fell out and weren't drafted at all. Gurgling RL comes to mind. But the last pick here that we have for the Flames is Villain.
Yeah, I do recognize the name. Villain is an 8 salary player that's that plays on PC. They played in 75 games, so that's significant. Sitting around 50th percentile in 3v3 and 45% win rate in twos. So yeah, I think is a good pick here. Definitely fits in with some of the other picks that the Flames have made, that have been made by Flames of the Flames. I still think that is great that the GM of the FM of the franchise is named the same.
Well, we have League Ops to thank for that. They did a great job of selecting that one. How could you not? How could you not? It was put in a silver platter in front of you. But yeah, that's our third round for you guys. Last chance to see the board before we clear it, and eventually move on to ACAD.
Yeah, absolutely. So congratulations to each of the 48 picks that have been picked in the FL draft. Very exciting for everybody that did get picked up. And as I said before, you don't need to worry if you didn't get picked up, because there's still going to be a chance for you to get picked up in free agency here come Wednesday at noon when that opens up. I believe now we're going to take a bit of a break here before we start the Academy League in the Season 12 Minor League Esports Draft. So thank you to everybody who's been watching so far, and stay tuned for some more awesome draft action.